Good afternoon, Captain.
Clearance delivery, Lufthansa 4RJ with the ATIS request clearance.
Lufthansa 4 Romeo Juliet, cleared runway, cleared to destination airport as filed. Fly runway heading, climb to flight level 70. Expect within 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 126.3. Squawk 6244. QNH 1023.
Cleared to EDDF as filed. Runway heading. Climb to flight level 70. Expect within 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.3. Squawk 6244. QNH 1023. Lufthansa 4RJ.
Lufthansa 4 Romeo Juliet. Read back correct. Contact ground on 121.9.
Clearance delivery 53 Bravo Lima with ATIS request clearance.
53 Bravo Lima, cleared runway, ATC clearance to Lima, Papa Tango, Yada, Sierra Romeo, November 6 Lima, departure runway, and then as filed, climb to flight level 60, expect within 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 126.3, squawk 6706, QNH 1023.
Cleared to Lima, Papa Tango 5 Sierra Romeo November 6 Lima runway, climb to flight level 60, expect within 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.3, squawk 6706, QNH 1023, 53 Bravo Lima.
53 Bravo Lima, read back correct.
Roger, 53 Bravo Lima.
Heading out for my checks.
Clearance delivery, KLM 1634. Our parking position is Terminal 1, parking position north 214 with the ATIS request clearance.
KLM 1634, ATC clearance to Echo Hotel Alpha Mike, Yada, India, Bravo Charlie, Uniform 6 Yankee, transition, Alpha Oscar, Sierra 7 Yankee, departure runway 17 left, and then as filed. Climb to flight level 110. Expect flight level 360 within 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 126.3. Squawk 5460. QNH 1023.
cleared to Echo Hotel Alpha Mike via India Bravo Charlie Uniform 6 Yankee. Transition Alpha Oscar Sierra 7 Yankee runway 17 left, climb into flight level 110. Expect flight level 360 within 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.3. Squawk 5460. QNH 1023. KLM 1634.
KLM 1634. Read back correct. Contact ground on 121.9er.
Roger, 121.9er. KLM 1634.
Grant 301. Request startup and pushback. 301. Startup and pushback approved. Approved 301.
Ground 301. Request startup and pushback.
301. Startup and pushback approved.
Approved. 301.
Ground, Ryanair 5 Uniform Foxtrot. Request startup.
Ryanair 5 Uniform Foxtrot. Startup is approved.
Roger. Startup approved. Ryanair 5 Uniform Foxtrot.
301. Request pushback and startup.
301. Startup and pushback approved.
Approved. 301.
Walk around completed.
Glide slope. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain. Pull up.
Airspeed low. Airspeed low.
Sink rate. Pull up. Terrain. Pull up. Don't sink. Don't sink. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Gear. Too low. Flaps. Too low. Terrain. Glide slope. Bank angle. Bank angle.
Approaching minimums. Minimums. 2,500. 1,000. 500. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Too low. Terrain. Caution. Terrain.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested.
Navigation, transfer and display switches.
Normal and auto.
Window heat.
On.
Pressurization mode selector.
Auto.
Flight instruments.
Set.
Parking brake.
On.
Fuel control switches.
Cut off. Departure briefing. It will be a left seat takeoff. The reported runway conditions are normal. Taxi route is per ATC instructions. We'll be departing on runway 17 Lima, climbing via the departure procedures to an initial altitude of 11,000 feet. Standard reject and emergency procedures apply. Any questions?
I'm good.
Completed.
Pre-flight checklist complete.
Ground Air Portugal 823, request startup and pushback.
Air Portugal 823. Startup and pushback approved.
Approved. Air Portugal 823.
Ground, Speedbird 75 Mike. Request startup and pushback.
Speedbird 75 Mike. Startup and pushback approved.
Approved. Speedbird 75 Mike.
Ground 59er Victor Lima. Request startup and pushback.
59er Victor Lima. Startup and pushback approved.
Approved. 59er Victor Lima.
Ground 4 Lima Sierra, requesting engine start and pushback.
4 Lima Sierra. Startup and pushback approved.
Startup and push approved. 4 Lima Sierra.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Vera, and I'm your chief flight attendant.
Ground
The fasten seatbelt sign is on, so if you haven't already done
Finnair
so,
2
please
Charlie
stay or
Mike.
carry on luggage
Startup
underneath
and
the seats in
pushback
front of you
approved.
or in an overhead bin. Please take your seat
DN.
and fasten your seatbelt. Also make sure your seat back and folding trays are in their full upright position. If you are seated next to an emergency exit,
Before start
please
checklist.
carefully read the
Flight
special
deck door.
instructions card
Closed and
located
locked.
on your
Fuel
seat.
1 3
Request startup and
9
pushback.
9
2
0
6 Alpha
pounds.
Papa. Startup
Check.
and
Please ask
pushback
Passenger
flight
signs.
attendant to
Approved.
repeat you.
26
MCB.
We
AB.
remind you that this is
Set.
a non-smoking
Takeoff
flight.
speed.
Checked.
Smoking
CDU
is prohibited
pre-flight.
in the entire aircraft,
Completed.
including
Rudder and
the
aileron
lavatory.
trim.
3 and
Tampering
0.
with,
Anti-collision
disabling, or
lights.
destroying the lavatory smoke
Before start
detectors is
checklist
prohibited
complete.
by law. If you have any
Ground
questions about our
KLM
flight today,
1634.
please
Request
don't
startup
hesitate
and
to ask
pushback.
one of our
KLM
flight attendants.
1634.
Thank
Startup
you.
and pushback approved.
Approved. KLM 1634.
Ground from cockpit.
Go ahead.
Ready for pushback.
Connecting tug. I'll let you know when the pin's inserted. Steering inserted, release parking brake. Starting push. Cleared to start engines.
Starting engine 2. Engine 2 started. Engine 2 cut out. Starting engine 1.
Stopping pushback. Tow bar disconnected. See you on the left side with the pin. Have a great flight.
Thank you. We'll look for you on the left side with the pin.
Ground Aegean 6 PX. Request startup and pushback.
Aegean 6 Papa X-ray. Startup and pushback approved.
Approved. Aegean 6 PX.
Engine 1 started. Engine 1 cut out. All engines stable. After start checklist. Generators.
On.
Probe heat.
On.
Isolation valve.
Auto.
Engine start switches.
Continuous.
Recall.
Checked.
Auto brakes.
Rejected takeoff.
Flight control test. Full left. Neutral. Full right. Full back. Full forward.
Checked.
After start checklist complete. Taxi checklist. Flaps.
Set.
Trim.
Set.
Taxi checklist complete.
Ground KLM 1634. Request taxi.
KLM 1634. Taxi via Alpha Bravo Mike Alpha Alpha to runway 17 left.
Via Alpha Bravo Mike Alpha Alpha to runway 17 left. KLM 1634.
Clear on the right.
Clear on the left.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now request your full attention as the flight attendants demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. When the seatbelt sign illuminates, you must fasten your seatbelt. Insert the metal fittings one into the other and tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. We suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight, as we may experience turbulence. There are several emergency exits in this aircraft. Please take a few moments now to locate your nearest exit. In some cases, your nearest exit may be behind you. If we need to evacuate the aircraft, floor level lighting will guide you towards the exit. Doors can be opened by moving the handle in the direction of the arrow. Each door is equipped with an inflatable slide which may also be detached and used as a life raft.
KLM 1634, contact tower on 128.35.
Event of a decompression,
128.35, KLM 1634. Tower KLM 1634, holding short at runway 17 left, request departure.
KLM 1634, line up runway 17 left.
Lining up runway 17 left, KLM 1634.
Flowing to the mast. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask on first, and then assist the other
Tower
passengers.
4 Lima Sierra, holding short runway 17 right.
4 Lima Sierra, line up runway 17 right.
Line up runway 17 right, 4 Lima Sierra.
Before takeoff checklist. Lights.
If you hear, brace.
Approaching runway 17 left.
On.
Transponder.
4 Lima Sierra, wind 220 at 4, runway 17 right, clear for takeoff.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
17 right, 4 Lima Sierra.
Tower, Finnair 2TN, holding short of runway 17 right, ready for departure.
Finnair to Charlie Mike, line up runway 17 right.
Lining up runway 17 right, Finnair 2TN.
Finnair to Charlie Mike, wind 220 at 4, runway 17 right, clear for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 17 right, Finnair 2TN.
KLM 1634, wind 220 at 4, runway 17 left, clear for takeoff.
Runway 17 left, cleared for takeoff. KLM 1634.
Stabilized. Thrust set.
Checked.
Tower 26AB, holding short of runway 17 right.
Speed
request
aligned.
departure.
26 Alpha Papa, line up runway 17 right.
Lining up runway
80
17
knots.
right
Checked.
to 6AB.
Two 6 Alpha Papa, wind
P1,
220 at
retain.
4, runway 17 right, clear for takeoff.
Runway 17 right,
Positive
cleared
rate.
for
Gear up.
takeoff to 6AB.
Gear up.
Approaching runway 17 left.
400 feet.
Laternal navigation.
KLM 1634, contact departure on
Vertical navigation.
126.3.
VN Avion.
126.3. KLM 1634. Departure KLM 1634, passing 2000 foot flight level 11.
Acceleration
KLM
altitude.
1634, radar contact. Continue the other India
Autopilot.
Bravo Charlie Uniform 6
Command
Yankee
AON.
transition Alpha Oscar Sierra 7 Yankee departure route. Climb to flight level 110.
Flaps 1.
Via India Bravo Charlie Uniform 6
Flaps
Yankee
1.
transition Alpha Oscar Sierra 7 Yankee departure.
Flaps 1.
110 KLM 1634.
Maintain thrust hold.
Present altitude 301.
KLM 1634, reduce speed to 220 knots.
Slowing down to 220. KLM 1634.
Departure 59er Victor Lima, passing flight level 905 or flight level 140.
Flaps up.
59er Victor Lima, identified. Climb to flight level 140.
Climbing to flight level 140,
Flaps up.
59er Victor Lima.
After takeoff checklist. Engine start switches.
Off.
Hacks.
On.
Auto brakes.
Off.
Landing gear.
222, passing flight level 109 for flight level
Up and off.
150.
Flaps.
222,
Up.
identified.
After
Climb
takeoff
to
checklist
flight level
complete.
150.
Transition
Climbing
altitude.
to flight level 150,
Check.
222.
Departure Air Portugal, 823, getting flight level 143 for flight level 20.
Airport 823, identified. Down to flight level 60.
Descending to flight level 20, Air Portugal, 823.
301, maintaining thrust altitude.
Present altitude 301.
KLM 1634, climb and maintain flight level 190.
Climb and maintain flight level 190. KLM 1634.
Passing 10,000 feet.
Speedbird 75 Mike, climb and maintain flight level 150.
Climb and maintain flight level 150. Speedbird 75 Mike.
Departure 4783, set flight level 100.
4783, identified. Is down to 3,000.
Descending to 3,301.
4783, climb to flight level 150.
Climbing to flight level 150, 4783.
KLM 1634, climb and maintain flight level 300.
Climb and maintain flight level 300. KLM 1634.
Niner Victor Lima, maintain present altitude.
Present altitude 59er Victor Lima.
Speedbird 75 Mike, climb to flight level 210.
Climbing to flight level 210. Speedbird 75 Mike.
KLM 1634, contact Milan on 125.27.
125.27. KLM 1634. Milan KLM 1634, passing flight level 180 for flight level 300.
KLM 1634, identified. Continue on navigation.
Roger. KLM 1634.
Milan Center 50 Echo Romeo at flight level 180.
50 Echo Romeo, identified. Speedbird 75 Mike. Climb and maintain flight level 250.
Climb and maintain flight level 250. Speedbird 75 Mike.
KLM 1634. Climb and maintain flight level 360.
Climb and maintain flight level 360. KLM 1634.
KLM 1634. Contact Switzerland on 126.35.
126.35. KLM 1634. Switzerland KLM 1634. Passing flight level 290 for flight level 360.
KLM 1634 identified.
This is 2032 level 9 at 3, climbing 120.
Yes, this is 2032 Swiss radar identified, climb by level 230.
Level 230, 2032.
Okay, Delta Romeo Charlie, descend flight level 110 and set now course direct to Friedrichshafen.
Romeo Charlie, Delta 110 and Capital South. Okay.
It's almost correct. Calip 1 Golf arrival.
Calip 1 Golf arrival, sorry, I got it.
Rate of climb.
1,500 feet for those something back.
What you keep at least 1,500 feet per minute until passing 170.
Until passing 170, it is 1,500 feet per minute for the space.
Lufthansa 37440, center flight level 160, rate 1500 or greater.
Lufthansa 37440, setting 160, 1500 or more.
Eurowings 1 Tango Kilo, maintain present altitude.
Eurowings 1 Tango.
The Bravo Foxtrot Papa X-ray, climb to flight level 240, turn left on navigation to Sozon, then Odina.
Sozon, Odina, very clear, flight level 240 with the Papa X-ray.
This is Triple K, descend flight level 160.
Descend level 160, please, Triple K.
KLM 1634, contact Geneva on 125.55.
125.55, KLM 1634. Geneva, KLM 1634, at flight level 360.
KLM 1634, identified.
And Swiss Air 3750 is entering the Leran hold and confirm an approach time for Swiss Air.
Jambo, you are behind Lufthansa, so at minimum 10 minutes behind.
Okay, that means at 1648, Zulu time, confirm?
Minimum.
Okay, so in this case we would like to divert to Marseille.
Littoral 493 radar. Oui, je vous écoute, 493. Vous pouvez sortir de votre position au cap 300, s'il vous plaît. En reposition, on continue le virage au cap 300, littoral 493. Voilà, vous mettez en réduction de vitesse si vous n'avez pas déjà réduit, 182 maximum pour le moment. Oui, 182, donc on va accélérer, littoral 493.
KLM 1634, contact Reims on 128.3.
128.3, KLM 1634. Reims, KLM 1634, at flight level 360.
KLM 1634, identified. Eurowings 3 Lima Romeo, maintain present altitude.
Present altitude, Eurowings 3LR.
Approchons le niveau 180, 056 Sierra Papa.
C'est Inter Sierra Papa, vous pouvez prendre à gauche vers Côte, vous appelez Marseille 127.9, au revoir.
126.9 en route sur Côte Sierra Papa.
127.9.
127.9, bonne soirée madame.
Lufthansa 43906, present arrival.
Out of level 145, descending with 1700 feet per minute.
Roger.
Ryanair 902 Tango, maintain present altitude.
Present altitude, Ryanair 902 Tango.
Eurowings 8 Delta Mike, maintain present altitude.
Present altitude, Eurowings 8 Delta Mike.
Littoral 493, vous libérez 4000 pieds dès maintenant, s'il vous plaît.
On passe 3005 vers 3000, littoral 493.
D'accord, conservez le cap. Le trafic qui vous précède a passé Novembre Charlie, mais à cause de régulation au départ aussi, on est obligé de mettre une cadence de environ 15 nautiques entre les appareils. Là.
On maintient la vitesse, on arrive à 3000 pieds, 1010, littoral 493.
D'accord.
Les départs, littoral 109, Golf Whisky, bonsoir.
Littoral Golf Whisky, bonjour, cap 140, vous montez niveau 110.
Au cap 140, on monte vers le niveau 110, Golf Whisky.
Sabina 967, you may change 23 right, report short.
Right, I will call your short now. Corsica Zulu Papa, descendez niveau 70, 70.
On libère le 80 vers le 70, Zulu Papa.
Vous continuez la descente sur l'ILS pour percer, 10 tours sur la fréquence 118.7. Vous maintenez 160 nœuds maximum de vitesse, s'il vous plaît.
162 maximum, l'ILS c'est la tour 118.7. Pardon.
Au revoir.
And Swiss Air 3750 is entering the Lera hold and confirm an approach time for Swiss Air.
I think you're behind Lufthansa, so at minimum 10 minutes behind.
Okay, that means at 1648 Zulu time confirmed.
Minimum.
Okay, so in this case we would like to divert to Marseille. 140 se libère et Inter Sierra Papa.
140 se libère, Inter Sierra Papa, Roger.
Maintenant toujours le cap nord, je pense.
Oui.
Reçu.
Littoral 493, radar. Oui, je vous écoute, 493. Vous pouvez sortir de votre position au cap 300, s'il vous plaît. En reposition, on continue le virage cap 300, littoral 493. Voilà, vous vous mettez en réduction de vitesse, si vous n'avez pas déjà réduit, 182 maximum pour le moment. Oui, 182, donc on va accélérer, littoral 493.
Frenchline 7 Juliette, pardon, descendez 5000 pieds, 1009 et l'arrivée 124-17, au revoir.
5000, 1009, 124-17, 7 Juliette, au revoir.
Swiss Air 3750, descend level 100.
And the 100 Swiss 3750, any approach time for?
Okay, back.
Left and you will hold short 23 right.
Roger, holding short, runway 23 right, Papa Bravo.
KTG Alpha, contactez la tour 118.7, au revoir.
10.7, on va partir.
Approchons le niveau 180, 056 Sierra Papa.
Inter Sierra Papa, vous pouvez prendre à gauche vers Côte, vous appelez Marseille 127.9, au revoir.
126.9 en route sur Côte Sierra Papa.
127.9.
127.9, bonne soirée madame.
Lufthansa 4906, present table.
Out of level 145, descending with 1700 feet from there.
Roger.
Igor 493, vous libérez 4000 pieds dès maintenant, s'il vous plaît. Alors, on passe sur les 5 vers 3000, Igor 493. D'accord, conservez le cap, le trafic qui vous précède a passé Novembre Charlie, mais à cause de régulation au départ aussi, on est obligé de mettre une cadence d'environ 15 nautiques entre les appareils. D'accord.
Départ littoral 109 Golf Whisky, bonsoir.
Littoral Golf Whisky, bonjour, cap 140, vous montez niveau 110.
Au cap 140, on monte vers le niveau 110 Golf Whisky.
Line 6, runway change 23 right, report short.
Right, I report your photo.
On libère le 80 vers 70 de papa.
Vous continuez la descente sur l'ILS pour PRC, discours sur la fréquence 118.7. Vous maintenez 160 maximum de vitesse, s'il vous plaît.
160 maximum, l'ILS et la discours 118.7.
Au revoir.
And Swiss Air 3750 is entering the Lena hold and confirm an approach time for return.
You are behind the standard, so at minimum 10 minutes behind.
Okay, that means at 1648 is route time confirmed.
Minimum.
Okay, so in this case we would like to divert to Marseille. Libère et Inter Sierra Papa.
140 se libère, Inter Sierra Papa, Roger.
Maintenant toujours le Cap Nord, je pense.
Oui.
Reçu.
littoral 493 de radar. Oui, je vous écoute, 493. Vous pouvez sortir de votre position au cap 300, s'il vous plaît. En reposition, on continue le virage au cap 300, littoral 493. Voilà, vous vous mettez en réduction de vitesse, si vous n'avez pas déjà réduit, 182 maximum pour le moment. 182, donc on va accélérer, littoral 493.
Descendez 5000 pieds, 1009 et l'arrivée 127 17, au revoir.
5000 127 17, très good, au revoir.
Swiss Air 3750, descend number 100.
Band 100, Swiss Air 3750, on approach time for us.
Okay, back for that.
Left and you will hold short 23 right.
Roger, holding short, runway 23 right,
TATG Alpha, contactez la tour 118.7, au revoir.
10.7, bonjour monsieur.
Attention, niveau 180, 056 sur un papa.
Sierra Papa, vous pouvez prendre à gauche vers Côte, vous appelez Marseille 127.9, au revoir.
126.9 en route sur Côte, Sierra Papa.
127.9.
127.9, bonne soirée madame.
Lufthansa 43906
Out of level 145, descending with 1700 feet per minute.
Roger.
Littoral 493, vous libérez 4000 pieds dès maintenant, s'il vous plaît. Encore 3500, mais littoral 493. D'accord, conservez le cap. Le trafic qui vous précède a passé Novembre Charlie, mais à cause de régulation au départ aussi, on est obligé de mettre une cadence d'environ 15 nautiques entre les appareils. départ, littoral 109 Golf Whisky, bonsoir.
Littoral Golf Whisky, bonjour, cap 140, vous montez niveau 110.
Au cap 140, on monte vers le niveau 110 Golf Whisky.
KLM 1634, contact Brussels on 125.0.
125.0, KLM 1634. Brussels, KLM 1634, at flight level 360.
KLM 1634, identified.
Brussels Control Center, Austria 2651, with you at flight level 320 for flight level 260.
Austrian 2651, identified. Descend to flight level 260.
Descend to flight level 260, Austria 2651.
Ryanair 811H, with you passing flight level 260 for flight level 210.
Ryanair 811, hotel, identified. Descend to flight level 210.
Descending to flight level 210, Ryanair 811H.
Brussels, Center, 917R at flight level 390.
917 Romeo, identified. 917 Romeo, descend to flight level 340.
Descending to flight level 340, 917R.
Good morning, running 40 Romeo, flight level 390, direct 0, uniform India. And I'm 40 Romeo, I don't contact them. Director rev left, wel 568. Northbound 508, level 370 running. Northbound 508, let contact at all.
Good morning, Viking 5827, Airways level 38, inbound Q-Wing.
Viking 5827, hello and radar contact, continue Q-Wing.
Q-Wing Viking 5827.
Skinny 594 over the Copenhagen 127.865.
Heading 275 for Lufthansa 911.
I'll maintain your presence heading report descending on 11825.
Local vehicle 911.
Lufthansa, 6 Kilo X-ray level C7 zone. 3 Kilo X-ray from the top radar contact. F19 for X-ray Copenhagen 127.865. Whiskey, cool, on Heinrana, 16785, down. 6785, yeah, 5 Whiskey, down. That's a 532, Maastricht 132.865. 32.865, 92. Victor Papa over to Copenhagen 127.865.
127.865, Brian 9 Victor Papa, thank you, bye.
Copenhagen 134.675.
Okay, enough 5 Whiskey?
Negative.
134.615, reference. Juliet, bye-bye.
Clears level 390, thanks. Sorry, the Viking, obviously you picked the wrong call, please revert to Copenhagen.
So, good afternoon, Viking.
480, good morning, Viking 473, we bound there 190-280. Viking 403, morning, radar contact in Coleman and level 340. I'm Coleman level 340, thank you. KLM 19, Mike, land flight level 290 to Big Down. Good afternoon, radar contact level 340, Golo.
Flight level 340 is Golo, Speedbird 925.
Charlie Fox is approaching level 80. Charlie Fox, roger, maintain contact tonight for 118.25, good day. 118.25, goodbye.
Spina 418, flight level 180.
Spina 418, good morning, radar contact.
For level 350 and we are requesting 390.
Approaching top of descent. Descent checklist. Pressurization.
Set.
Recall. Checked. Auto brakes.
Set.
Landing data.
Checked.
Navigation aids.
Set.
Heads-up display.
Checked. Approach briefing. We're expecting the ILS approach for runway 27. The minimum altitude is 200 feet. We'll use auto brakes too. We can expect to park at gate Charlie 8. In case of go around, we'll climb per ATC instructions on the runway heading. Any questions?
No.
Completed.
Descent checklist complete.
8 Rico. Request descent KLM 1634.
KLM 1634, descend to flight level 250.
Descend into flight level 250. KLM 1634.
KLM 1634, expect Hotel Echo Lima Echo 2 Alpha arrival, expect ILS, approach runway 27, transition Romeo India Victor Echo Romeo.
Hotel Echo Lima Echo 2 Alpha, expect ILS, approach runway 27, transition Romeo India Victor Echo Romeo KLM 1634.
KLM 1634, descend to flight level 230.
Descending to flight level 230, KLM 1634.
Lufthansa 3 Kilo X-ray, clear level 280, level gas cap. Lufthansa 3 Kilo X-ray, descend level 280, level by gas cap.
KLM 1634, descend to flight level 160.
Descending to flight level 160, KLM 1634.
KLM 1634, cleared at Hotel Echo Lima Echo 2 Alpha arrival, expect ILS, approach runway 27, transition Romeo India Victor Echo Romeo.
Hotel Echo Lima Echo 2 Alpha, expect ILS, approach runway 27, transition Romeo India Victor Echo Romeo, KLM 1634.
KLM 1634, contact Amsterdam on 190.17.
190.17, KLM 1634. Amsterdam, KLM 1634, passing flight level 230 for flight level 160.
KLM 1634, identified. Continue the other arrival.
Via Hotel Echo Lima Echo 2 Alpha, arrival KLM 1634.
KLM 1634, contact approach on 131.155.
131.155, KLM 1634. Approach control, KLM 1634, passing flight level 220 for flight level 160.
KLM 1634, cleared at Hotel Echo Lima Echo 2 Alpha arrival, expect ILS, approach runway 27, transition Romeo India Victor Echo Romeo.
Hotel Echo Lima Echo 2 Alpha, expect ILS, approach runway 27, transition Romeo India Victor Echo Romeo, KLM 1634.
France 2040 left, 300, cleared for approach, runway 27.
Left 300, clear approach, 37 M1040.
Thank you, 545, full tower on 1922, goodbye.
KLM 1634, descend to flight level 100.
Descending to flight level 100, KLM 1634.
Scandinavian 1555 heading 220, descent to 3000, 1016.
Roger, heading 220, descending at 3000 feet, 1016, Scandinavian 155.
Element 238 out of 3000, 1016. Right. Equate 1632, heading 240 to lock on and cleared for approach.
From 1626, 8.5 from touchdown.
8.5 miles, kind of 1626.
KLM 1634, reduce speed to 250 knots.
Slowing down to 250, KLM 1634.
Speed brake armed.
KLM 1634, cleared ILS, approach runway 27, transition Romeo India Victor Echo Romeo.
ILS approach, runway 27, transition Romeo India Victor Echo Romeo KLM 1634.
Speed brake armed.
India received and straight into 7 for Bravo 639. Aircraft 2040 left heading 340. Heading 340, Aircraft 2040. Arrival for Italia 116, descending 40, heading 065.
Italia 116, descend 2000, 1016.
3000, 1016, Italia 116.
KLM 1634, descend to flight level 75.
Descending to flight level 75, KLM 1634.
Speed brake armed.
Alitalia 116, turn right, heading 170, base leg, reduce speed to 180.
Right, 170 base, reduce speed, Alitalia 180, Alitalia 116.
KLM 86 November, maintain present altitude.
Present altitude, KLM 86N.
Aircraft 2040, turn left, heading 015. Left heading 015, Aircraft 2040.
Passing 10,000 feet.
KLM 023 for Amsterdam 12575, bye-bye.
Amsterdam 12575, 1023.
KLM 86 November, maintain present altitude.
Present altitude, KLM 86N.
KLM 1634, slow to 2220 knots.
Slowing down to 220, KLM 1634.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position. Make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened and all carry-on luggage is stowed underneath the seat in front of you or in the overhead bin. Thank you.
Chevrolet 665, about half 6, standing 5 level 70.
KLM 86 November, maintain present altitude.
Present altitude, KLM 86N.
KLM 1634, descend to 2500, QNH 1018.
Descending to 2500, QNH 1018, KLM 1634.
Speed brake armed.
Turn right, heading 075. Right 075, that's Daniel, Mama 0.
KLM 1634, descend to
Glide slope
2000,
alive.
QNH 1018.
Descending to 2000, QNH 1018, KLM 1634.
KLM 86 November, maintain present altitude.
Present altitude, KLM 86N.
Flaps 1.
Transalvia 5072, maintain present altitude.
Present altitude, Transavia 5072.
KLM 86 November, maintain present altitude.
Present altitude, KLM 86N.
Transalvia 736, Maintain present altitude.
Present altitude, Transavia 736.
Approach mode on. Command be on.
KLM 1634, clear to intercept
Approach
the
mode
final
on.
tower. Frequency is 135.11.
Final approach speed, tower 135.11, KLM 1634.
Command A on.
Transavia 5072, maintain present altitude.
Present altitude, Transavia 5072.
Flaps 5.
KLM 86 November, descend to flight level 50.
Descending to flight level 50, KLM 86N.
Gear down. Transition altitude. Checked. Flaps 10. Flaps 15.
KLM 755, maintain present altitude.
Present altitude, KLM 755. 65 Mike is cleared for takeoff, 24. Woody.
Flaps 25.
Tower KLM 1634, on final, runway 27.
KLM 1634, slow to final approach speed. QNH 1018, clear to land runway 27.
Final
Flaps
approach
30.
QNH 1018, clear to land runway 27. KLM 1634.
2500.
Landing checklist. Engine start switches.
Continuous.
Speed brake. Speed brake arm. Landing gear.
Down.
Flaps.
Set.
Landing checklist complete.
Descend. Descend. Increase descent. Increase descent.
Tower KLM 86N, on final, request landing, runway 27.
KLM 86 November, clear to land runway 27. QNH 1018.
Clear to land runway 27, QNH 1018, KLM 86N.
Target 647, line up and wait, 100 left, exit 4.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for landing.
Please land 99 KLM 116. Go for front. Skyrock 867, you're clean for takeoff, 24.
Number 13 off, runway 24 on Mark 867.
Approaching runway 27.
For the wind is 210 at 16, take your time.
Minimums.
That's 224 behind you. Oh, I've got it. Second.
867, contact Tower on Moment 8
Speed brakes out.
Nice landing, as always.
Tower, KLM 755 on final request landing. Runway 27, KLM 755.
Reverse
Land
thrust.
runway 27, QNH 1018.
Manual braking.
Clear to land runway
70 knots.
27, QNH 1018. KLM 755. KLM 1634. Gases left, contact ground on 121.905.
121.905. KLM 1634.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your safety and comfort,
Ground
please
KLM
remain seated with your
1634
seatbelt
is cleared off
fastened
the
until
runway.
captain
Request taxi for
turns off the
parking.
fasten
KLM
seatbelt sign.
1634.
This will
Taxi
indicate that we
via
have passed
November
the gate
3
and that it
Alpha
is safe
Alpha
for you to
13
move
to Terminal 1
At
Gate
this time,
6.
You may use your
Via
cellular
November
phone
3
to
Alpha Alpha 13.
Please
Terminal
check
1
around
Gate
your
6
seats for any
KLM
personal belongings you may
1634.
have brought on board with you, and please use caution when opening the overhead bins, as heavy articles may have shifted around during the flight. If you require deplaning assistance, please remain in your seat until all other passengers have deplaned. One of our crew members will then be pleased to assist you. On behalf of myself, Vera, and the entire crew, I'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again soon. Have a nice day.
Good afternoon, 768 vacated, 27 exit 1.
Flying 768, Delta 47.
Delta 47, 768.
Rock, Air Canada 809er. Request startup and pushback.
Air Canada 809er. Startup and pushback approved.
Approved. Air Canada 809er.
KLM 1168.
1168, number 1 for the 19, the wind is 200 at 13.
Sure, then, mark the other one, 68.
H61 for my info, you have been given exit 6 runway 24?
Yes, that's right.
No need for that anymore, the normal length is available.
35744, thank you.
Ground, easy, 5-2, Uniform Victor. Request startup and pushback.
Easy 52 Uniform Victor. Startup and pushback approved.
Approved. Easy. 5-2 Uniform Victor.
Ground 9, 8 feet in. Request pushback and startup. Ryanair 85 Papa Zulu. Startup and pushback approved.
Approved. Ryanair 85 feet in.
Ground KLM 35F, request startup and pushback.
KLM 35 Foxtrot. Startup and pushback approved.
Approved. KLM 35F.
Ground, Aegean 625, request startup and pushback.
Aegean 625. Startup and pushback approved.
Approved, Aegean 625.
Ground KLM 765, request startup and pushback.
KLM 765. Startup and pushback approved.
Approved. KLM 765.
Hello, KLM 308.
Hello, KLM 308, Charlie 16.
Roger.